Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
What happens when AI, artificial intelligence, steps onto a playing field we always thought was just for the sharpest human minds? Think about a challenge. So complex, so tough, that it pushes even the most brilliant young thinkers to their limits. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something pretty groundbreaking, an achievement that suggests AI isn't just on that field anymore. Maybe it's starting to master it. We're focusing today on DeepSeek's R10528 AI model, and specifically, its really remarkable performance on the American Invitational Mathematics Examination, the AIME 2025. Now, we've gathered quite a bit of info for you on this. We're looking at reports from Pimmons, some direct insights from DeepSeek chat, and also discussions bubbling up on social media. Our mission here is simple. Boil down all these sources, find the most important nuggets of knowledge from you. We want you to walk away understanding what this achievement really means for AI capabilities, where it might be applied, and, well, the whole global AI race. So let's get you informed.
Okay, so to really get why this DeepSeek result is such a big deal, we first need to talk about the A itself.
Right, the exam.
Yeah. This isn't, your standard high school math final. It's a highly respected competition. It's invitational.
Invitational meaning you have to qualify.
Exactly. You need to perform really well in earlier math contests just to get invited. It's designed for students already showing exceptional mathematical talent. And what really sets the AA apart and why AI doing well is so interesting is the type of problems. They're famously difficult.
How so?
Well, they're not about just crunching numbers or applying a formula you memorized. They demand creative thinking, multi-step reasoning, sometimes really clever insights. It tests genuine mathematical reasoning, sort of conceptual understanding. It's about ingenuity, not just computation.
And that's the key point, isn't it? AI tackling this specific challenge, it's significant precisely because it's about reasoning. It's not just about recalling facts from a huge database.
Yeah, absolutely. If an AI can solve these kinds of problems, it suggests it's doing something more than just pattern matching or, spitting out stored answers. It points towards a deeper, maybe more flexible kind of problem-solving ability, a qualitative shift, really.
Okay, so let's dive into DeepSeek's breakthrough then. This model, the R10528, when did this come out? You mentioned it was May 2025.
That's right, released in May. And it's described as an evolution building on their previous work.
So kind of fine-tuned for these harder tasks.
Exactly. They specifically engineered it to handle complex reasoning across math, science, even programming. It's designed for that higher-level stuff.
And the headline result, the big achievement.
The core achievement is that this R10528 model scored an impressive 87.5% accuracy on the AIME 2025 exam.
Wow, 87.5%. That sounds high.
It is. And more than just the number, it signals a really substantial leap forward in AI reasoning. To give some context, reports from just mid-June 2025 mention its accuracy on the same exam was around 70%.
So a jump from 70% to nearly 88%. That's pretty fast improvement.
It's a huge jump, yeah. And it points to some interesting things under the hood. The model apparently uses advanced techniques to tackle a common AI problem, hallucinations.
Hallucinations. That's when the AI just kind of confidently makes things up or gives answers that don't make sense.
Exactly. So they've worked on reducing that and also enhancing what they call front-end capabilities.
Front-end capabilities.
Yeah.
What does that mean in this context, like understanding the question better?
Precisely. It's about the AI being better at interpreting the problem statement, structuring its approach, almost like how a skilled human mathematician first breaks down a complex problem. It involves, sophisticated algorithms, maybe things like tree of thought prompting, where it explores different ways to solve it, or better self-correction. It allows it to follow these complex logical steps more reliably.
Okay, so it's not just getting the answer right, it's how it gets there that's improved.
Yeah.
And how does this stack up against, say, the big names, like OpenAI or Google?
Well, this performance definitely puts DeepSeek right up there with models like OpenAI's GPT-4o and Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro, at least in this specific reasoning domain. Those models are known for broad capabilities, but DeepSeek nailing such a tough math benchmark is quite a statement.
And wasn't there an earlier result, too? You mentioned something about the 2024 AIME.
Right. According to DeepSeek chat information, their previous model, DeepSeek V3, scored a very high 94% on the AIME 2024.
94%.
Wow.
So this isn't just a one-time thing. They seem consistently strong in this area.
It suggests a very focused effort and a consistent trajectory of high performance on these kinds of advanced reasoning tasks.
So how did the broader AI world react to this latest jump, the 87.5%?
Well, the industry certainly took notice. That Pence report we mentioned specifically framed the update around stronger performance in complex reasoning, math, science, business programming. They explicitly linked it to improved front-end capabilities and reduced hallucinations, too. It underlines that these are the areas the field is really pushing on right now, reliability in complex tasks.
And DeepSeek themselves called it a huge jump, right? From 70% to 87.5%.
They did. Which naturally makes you think, okay, if it's improving this fast, what are the immediate practical possibilities? Where does this lead next?
What about like general buzz, social media, forums, any chatter there?
For the specific AIME 2025 result, maybe the reaction was a bit more contained, perhaps because it's quite technical.
Yeah, advanced math exams aren't exactly trending topics usually.
Right. But if you look at broader discussions about DeepSeek, especially on places like Reddit over the past few months, there's been definite enthusiasm for their progress generally. I saw one comment, maybe referring to a different tough benchmark they called the humanity last exam, but the sentiment fits. The user said something like, calling a jump from 8.5% to 17.7% a minor update is a major understatement.
Okay, so even if not about AIME specifically, there's this general sense that DeepSeek is making significant strides on hard problems.
Exactly. It shows there's a wider recognition of their progress, and this AIM result really cements them as a serious player in AI reasoning.
Especially interesting is their strategy too, right? Using open source approaches to compete with the big proprietary model.
That's a key part of their story, yes.
Yeah.
Leveraging that open innovation model.
So, moving beyond the scores and the tech.
Yeah.
What are the real-world implications? If AI is getting this good at math reasoning, what does that actually enable?
Well, the potential impacts are pretty significant. Think about education first.
AI tutors.
Yeah, but much more sophisticated ones. Imagine AI tutors that don't just check answers, but can actually understand a student's reasoning process on a complex math problem, identify misunderstandings, and guide them adaptively. Or advanced tools that help students visualize and explore mathematical concepts in new ways.
Okay, that makes sense. What about beyond education? Research.
Absolutely critical there. So many fields rely on precise mathematical modeling, physics, biology, economics, engineering. And AI that can handle this level of complex math could potentially accelerate discoveries, help design better experiments, or solve engineering challenges that are currently bottlenecked by computation or modeling complexity.
And this must be turning up the heat in the global AI race, right?
Oh, definitely. It intensifies the competition, particularly, as you see, between developers in China like DeepSeek and those in the West. Everyone's pushing the boundaries on these core AI capabilities like reasoning, which of course brings up some important questions as these incredibly powerful models get better and better.
Like who gets access to them?
Right. How do we ensure access is equitable? And maybe even more importantly, how do we manage the ethical considerations? Ensuring they're used responsibly as their capabilities grow.
Especially when they start mastering tasks we thought required human ingenuity.
And looking ahead, this kind of breakthrough suggests DeepSeek isn't stopping here. We can probably expect further refinements, maybe even better performance.
Which could lead to them being adopted more widely in universities, in industry.
It seems very likely. The trajectory is pointing towards AI becoming increasingly integrated into complex, knowledge-based work.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The big takeaway here seems to be that DeepSeek's R10528 model hitting that 87.5% on the AIME 2025. It's more than just a score. It's a real marker of progress in AI reasoning.
Absolutely. It highlights just how rapidly AI is advancing in its ability to tackle really complex intellectual challenges that require deep, nuanced thinking, not just calculation. And significantly, it underscores the major role China is playing in pushing the frontiers of AI globally. The implications, as we discussed, stretch into education, into research, and likely far beyond. It really feels like we're entering a new phase.
It definitely does. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to leave you, our listener, with. As these AI models like DeepSeek's keep getting better and better at things we've always considered uniquely human, like advanced math reasoning, what does that mean for us? What new ways might we collaborate with AI? Or perhaps where might new forms of competition emerge? And maybe the deepest question is, what parts of complex thinking, of problem solving, will always remain distinctly human? And how will we even define that boundary as AI continues to evolve? Something to ponder.
Thank you for listening to AI ConvoCast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.